Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
I guarantee you that at some point, everything's gonna go south on you.
Ready?
You're gonna say, this is it.
What's up, buddy?
This is how I end.
Commander, Mark is dead. We have to go now.
Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work. This will come as quite a shock to my crewmates and to NASA. But I'm alive. Surprise. Here's the problem. It's gonna be 4 years for another mission to reach me. And I'm gonna have designed to last 31 days. So I gotta make water and grow food on a planet where nothing grows.
He's 50 million miles from home. What the hell is he thinking right now?
I am the greatest botanist on this planet.
I know how to save Mark Watney. We need the Hermes crew.
I'm not risking their lives. It's bigger than one person.
No, it's not.
NASA rejected the mission.
So if we do this,
We're talking mutiny. If anything goes wrong, we die.
No matter what happens, tell the world, tell my family that I will never stop fighting to make it home.
The Martian. Rated PG-13, October 2nd.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
Howdy do, neighbors. Welcome. You should unmute yourself. That's what you should do.
Okay, hi.
Oh, that's better.
I had a great opening there. You didn't hear it, and now nobody will.
Yeah, and I can't lip read that well anymore.
You can't lip read "hoddly doodly 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 do." You can't. It just looks like I'm like kissing you. That's all.
Oh, doodly 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 doo.
And welcome to the first Oscar episode of 2016. Yes.
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's yes. We only started doing this last year, and I have to say I'm already.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We covered the Oscars before, but what we started doing last year is trying to review all of the Best Picture films and anything else we can squeeze in before the Oscars.
That's
Sorry,
correct.
Just wanted
to
clarify.
No, you are correct. Yeah, and we only had to do 7 movies last year. We actually have to do an extra one this year.
And easily, I'm already halfway through.
Yeah, by this weekend, I'll probably have 5 in the bag. So, because my wife is going to make me watch, I mean, we're going to watch Brooklyn anyway for the show. Something I don't want to do. But she wants to actually see it, so I don't have to watch that one alone. Anyway.
You have to let me know if you like the new banner for the Moviesucktastic Facebook page.
Did you put it up already?
Just did. I think you'll like it.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to check that out while we're reviewing. Before we go ahead and get into this movie, we should actually talk a little bit about the Oscar show coming up. I believe it's February 26th or 28th, something like that. We did touch on this a little bit last week when we did the nominees, that there were no black nominees for any of the major categories. And what was interesting is, and I just found out this today, that Straight Outta Compton got a best screenwriting original or adapted, I forget which one it was, white screenwriters. So to put extra salt in the wound, as they would say. Sorry. I guess that's all I could say. But no, seriously though, white gold. What was it last year? What was the hashtag? Oscars so white, or Oscars too white, or something like that.
I thought it was white gold.
White gold was one of them, but another one that they were tweeting, was, I think, Oscars are too white or Oscars so white, something along those lines.
Now,
but
did I read somewhere that was it the director or somebody from the Compton movie commented and said, "Yeah, it wouldn't make too much of it. There was a lot of competition this year." Like he was like, "Yeah, whatever." I
think that was John Singleton.
Was it Singleton? That's the name.
Yeah,
who's that?
Who's a black director? He's the guy that did Boys in the Hood, Higher Learning.
Right.
He did a few other movies, but he's a black director who primarily directs movies about black lifestyle, things like that. And he's like, yeah, it's very competitive. It's a voting process. Everything is submitted. Even the crappy films are submitted. Everything is submitted. You can nominate anything if it gets enough votes. So the fact that the voters and actors can vote, so they can nominate their peers. So I think it was Penelope Ann Miller. I think that's the actress. She actually went on the record today and she said, I find it actually demeaning and just insulting that you think that, we're racist because no one that's black got nominated this year. And she went on to say, I nominated black actors this year. I'm sorry they didn't, or I voted for black actors this year. I'm sorry they didn't get nominated. But what can you do? That's the voting process. So, and did you see that Jada Pinkett Smith, her and Will Smith, they're boycotting the Oscars. They're not going, and Will Smith, as far as I know, has not come out and said anything about him not being nominated for concussion.
Right.
He's keeping his mouth shut. Because you know what? They make a shitload of fucking money.
All right, here's the thing I want to say about that.
Yeah.
It's only a big deal that you're boycotting the Oscars if you're up for an Oscar.
Yeah, true.
If you're not nominated and you don't show up, who gives a fuck? That's like, what's that? It's like me saying I'm not, I'm protesting. I'm not going to Ice Capades this year. That's right. You're not going to get my money. You weren't anyway. Now, in the past, who was it that with the Indian? That was Marlon Brando, right? He didn't come for the Oscars.
No, when he won for the Godfather. Yes, it was Brando when he won for the Godfather. Yeah. I don't remember if he didn't go, but I know he sent up somebody in his place, and then they gave a speech about American Indians and their plight and all that.
Right. Yeah, which has so much to do with The Godfather and Oscars. I'm not saying I agree with any of that as far as what relevance it had to anything, but
right.
At least that's an actual stance because he won.
Right.
He was nominated. He won. And he was like, yeah, I'm not even going on stage. I'm not even going to show up. Send the Indian to do it. That's it. Yeah, Will Smith doesn't show up to the Oscars. That's good. When was the last time you were nominated?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's been a while, but it's been a few years. Yeah, maybe about 4 or 5 years.
That's
but
great. You know what?
It's not like he's never been nominated. She's never been nominated.
Well, yeah, it's like Jada. No one gives a fuck if you're going. Will, you're not nominated this year, so if you don't show up, it doesn't affect anything.
Right.
You're not boycotting. You're just not attending. There's a difference.
Exactly. And when she did her video, she did a video rant of what is that? Is that a martini?
Oh, this is the gin of this episode is Social Stills Gin from a local distillery here in Bethlehem, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Sorry. This is a social gin martini.
But she did a video, and I haven't looked into it. It's just what I've read. There's memes for it already. That she has what looks to be a real ivory elephant tusk, which is extremely illegal.
Now, it's only illegal if it's not an antique. There's a time frame on that. If it's from before 1970 something, it's still legal to own because it's technically an antique and it's not contributing to the detuskification of whatever. So that
that's
still,
probably what it is. But of course, there's like 100 memes about it, and they're giving her shit. And I highly doubt that she'll even come out and say, no, this is before whatever, because then she has to defend the fact that she still has an elephant tusk.
Yeah, good. And that's the kind of shit that should happen to these things. When people, it's horrible. The whole. I said it before. I'll say it again. Tyler Perry needs to step up his fucking game if you guys want to win some more Oscars. Get more black films out there. That's that's it. That's it. Like I said before, get Will Smith. How much money has he got? It maybe instead of making a movie for his fucking son, he can make more black-centered movies. Right. White America's favorite black guy. Maybe he can make some black films and get more black Oscars for black actors, black directors, black whatever.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely right, because if there were more, there'd be more chances to be nominated. That's the way it would be. That's
what it is. I mean, and it's like, people snubbed. You know what? There are a lot of great films, great actors that were snubbed by not being picked. It's a voting process, and whatever. It's not. One of my standing memories of the Oscars is back when Do the Right Thing wasn't nominated, and
Spike Lee
had come out, thank you, and had called the Academy Awards the Apartheid Awards, which is a very adult thing to do. And then during the Oscars, Kim Basinger, obviously coked out of her mind, came out on stage when she was supposed to announce something, and instead of announcing it, gave this rambling thing about how it was a travesty that Do the Right Thing wasn't nominated, and then they ran a clip of Do the Right Thing real quick, and when you came back, she's gone. Gone. They got her off stage. The big hook came out. And that's one of my big memories. It's okay, great. Do the Right Thing wasn't nominated for Best Picture because it's not the only fucking film out there.
Right. And what they come across, that's not how I wanted to say that. What it comes across,
that type.
Yeah, exactly. What it comes across as is, even if the actor isn't that good or the film isn't that good, something should be nominated anyway. And that's just not true. If it's the best performance or one of the best performances, it should be nominated. If it's not better than the other X amount of films or actors, actresses, then it's not going to be nominated.
And you know what? There's always going to be somebody who disagrees with the pick. Hello, the artist. Anything. I personally, these films, you're going to see ones like. There's going to be nominations. You're like, there's no fucking way that should have been nominated. There's no way he should have been nominated. It's going to happen. It's what happens.
Can I also just say the obvious as well, that
Uh-oh.
all this is
Yeah.
a bunch of famous, rich celebrities patting themselves on the back and handing themselves congratulatory awards.
Oh yeah, no, it's complete bullshit. Oh yeah.
So the fact that they're complaining about not being able to get said congratulatory award is it's kind of it's kind of insulting to the average Joe who's just watching it for entertainment. I mean, okay, right. You're in a movie, you're getting a golden statue because all of your peers say you were the best at this year. You did well. Okay, fine. What did you make this year too? Oh, Will Smith, you made $60 million this year. Fuck you.
And also, yeah,
I like his movies. I'm sure if I met him, he'd be fine. But it's like, come on, man. It's self-congratulatory. It's whatever.
Also, Will Smith, of course, also some of the most white friendly rap music ever made.
Yeah.
You know. And remember, kids, do your homework and be nice to your mother. Ba 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 ba. You know, it's just.
And then he crossed over into film when he did that Freddy Krueger song. You remember that one back in the day?
The Freddy Krueger song? I don't remember. I thought that it was 6 Degrees of Separation. That kind of like.
No. This was before he was. This is kind of like when he was still on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or just finishing that, and he kind of had a music career. He did a song about Freddy Krueger, about Elm Street.
I don't recall that.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, he did.
No. Well, but you're right. You're dead on. The fact that it's peer related. Let's remember that the people that vote on the Oscars, it's not the general public, and it's not film historians and critics and academics.
Right.
It's people in the fucking industry. It's the people that actually make the films are voting on who made the best one. It's completely back padding bullshit. It's like if you go to the restaurant, it's like, oh, employee of the month. Well, who voted that person employee of the month? Well, we just picked them. And or the employees picked them, but the restaurant people didn't pick them. I mean, like it wasn't the
that busboy. I've been here so many times. That busboy is great. It's like, no, I don't get a vote.
Yeah, right. So, so like for the masses who are complaining about white gold, not your call, not for you. This isn't about anything except the fucking industry, and the industry decided who to vote for. And if there are enough black people in the industry, and they decide they only want to vote for black people, then we'll get black Oscars.
And isn't
we'll get black gold? We'll get black gold then. If you want black gold, then just
the head of the Academy Awards isn't he black? I think he is.
I have no idea.
I'm almost positive of it. That the head of the Academy Awards, the Motion Picture Arts, is black. You can look that up. I'm almost positive of it.
I'm looking right now while you're talking.
Yeah. So, there's plenty of black people in the voting process.
Cheryl Boone's Isaac.
Sounds black.
Yeah, I want to say yes. Just looking at a picture, I want to say yes.
You're looking at a picture and you can't 100% tell?
Well, I'm saying it yes because there could be blending of
races.
But
so it's a woman? I thought it was a man.
Cheryl? That's a woman. She's the first African American president of the Academy.
Oh.
It says she's African American. I checked. Yes.
I thought there was somebody else higher up that was also black as well.
Well, this is back in 2013, unless they changed it. No, she's the. That's her. Miss Isaacs. Miss Boone Isaacs.
Cool. No. So, it just, I don't know. It's very,
Obviously. No, I think obviously she's racist.
Totally. She's,
I think that's just it, yeah.
Oh, what is this?
White gold.
Frustrated Oscars chief promises dramatic steps. This is from USA Today.
To eliminate white gold?
Apparently.
You know what? Tell you what. Make your own category.
Crash test done.
Yeah.
Best black actor. Best black movie. Do it. There you go.
It'll fall.
Tyler Perry will have a fucking shelf full of them.
It'll fall along the lines of best animated movie. 4 days after the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced an all-white list of actors, the group's president has said she's heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion. All right. I guess that's
the lack of inclusion.
She has
this
to
is
say.
the wrong show to get, this is the wrong show to get into this fucking bullshit.
Yeah. In a statement released Monday night, Cheryl Boone Isaacs outlined the Academy's plan to take dramatic steps to alter the makeup of our membership. So, are they going to ostracize people? Saying there's too many white people voting and, you can't?
Hey, I guess if we want to make a policy that, only a certain number of white people can vote in it.
So what does this lead to? Hold on. What does this lead to? Okay.
No. What I'm saying is that, but of course, if we're going to make that restriction, that's implying that only white people are going to vote for white people, and that only black people are going to vote for black people. So if you're saying we're gonna make sure that we have more black people on as voting on the Oscars, then you're implying that they're going to vote for black actors over white actors, which would be just as racist as white people specifically only voting for white people. Neither case is happening.
Right. And that's where I was going to go with that, with a little something extra. Let's say they do involve more black people than white people, or they just get more in there for the voting process, yet white people still end up winning the award. Black people, let's say they have a horrible track record. Is that going to become the new, we're just not winning now?
No, because then it won't be enough. Here's a question. How come there weren't any Japanese Americans nominated this year? What the fuck's up with that?
Sure.
Isn't gold yellow?
That's a very good point. Why does it just have to be white-black?
Because that's all that matters. I haven't seen Creed yet, but you know what? If you tell me that actor
Michael B.
Creed,
Jordan.
Right. If you're going to tell me that he, should have been, and there's been like white upsets too. Remember the Basketball Diaries? Remember the huge fucking stink over that?
Yeah.
When he wasn't nominated for that, that was
Leonardo DiCaprio. He
also
also wasn't nominated for.
Everybody was so pissed. Oh my god, it was huge.
He wasn't also nominated for What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which is like,
right.
Have you seen that performance? That's a fucking home run. Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. Yeah. This Boy's Life. I mean, hasn't been nominated a ton of times for performances that were obviously stellar.
My point is, with voting, there's always going to be somebody left out that everybody says shouldn't have been, or there's always going to be something missing. Yeah. Okay? Unless they want to make a whole new category for Best African American or Best Person of Color Actor. If they want to do that, fucking great. You're just going to add an hour and a half to the fucking Oscars, and you're going to make the whole thing even more meaningless than it already is. Beginning and end of it.
Yep. And you know what's interesting too? They're not actually coming out with examples of, Matt Damon shouldn't have been nominated and this person should have instead, or this person shouldn't have been nominated and this person instead. They're not doing that. They're just saying that we weren't nominated.
Right. They're saying there's not enough. There's not. How come you don't have any pictures of black people on your wall? That's what they're saying. That's all it is. It is like, you know what? Well, because there's not.
It's like Will Smith for Concussion, not nominated. Idris Elba for, I forget the movie he was in. Something Beasts of the something.
Right.
I don't know. But they're saying he should have been nominated for that. And
again,
from what I understand, people are saying that, Will Smith was good in Concussion. He just wasn't better than anyone that's nominated right now. Idris Elba was good in the movie he was in, but he's not nominated, not better than anyone nominated. And as a matter of fact, I keep hearing that there's a child actor that was in the same movie as Idris Elba that's 10 times better than both of them put together.
Is that the Room movie, or is that something else?
No. That's the Beasts of the whatever that Idris Elba is in. Oh. There's a kid actor in there that they're saying was definitely, like, for real snubbed. Like, he just maybe didn't stand out and they didn't vote for him.
And also, and of course, there's somebody I'm sure would be able to argue that Will Smith in Concussion deserved it over, say, Matt Damon in The Martian. I'm sure they can make that argument. Doesn't fucking matter because it's voted by people in the industry. And let's not forget that also means that these people know each other.
Right.
So is there going to be favoritism? There might be because some of these people may know these people and or have met them or know of them. They're working. They have a connection. It's an industry fucking award show. It's
right.
Like as you pointed out, this isn't the people's choice. This is the industry voting for itself.
Yeah.
Patting itself on the back. So, shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
That's it. So, our first white movie of the show, white Oscar film, is which one are we doing first, sir? We're doing
The Martian.
Martian, and the picture, our banner on Facebook, our Facebook page is for The Martian.
Oh, I still have to go look at that.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to go do that.
Now, this, of course, is the Matt Damon film about... now, there's also a John Cusack film called... what is that? The Child Martian. Or is that just The Martian? I think it's called The Child Martian, or The Martian Child. Anyway, Matt Damon... It's Castaway meets Apollo 13. Or Apollo 18. Which one is that?
Stop saying Apollo 18.
It's Apollo 13, right?
Yeah, yes.
I keep saying that. It's Castaway meets Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Or Armageddon if they were on Mars to begin with, and there wasn't a meteor.
Why is Keanu Reeves?
It's that famous thing. Keanu Reeves is sad where he's on the park bench.
Oh.
I thought you'd like that.
Okay, I do know about that. I do like it. I'm just like, why is Keanu Reeves looking sad on this bench? It's like, oh wait, that's right. That has its
because
own.
It's Keanu Reeves.
It's got its own life form at this point. I haven't seen one in a while.
So
I love it. Did you do this or you found that?
No, I found it. I'm not.
I'm man. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're reviewing The Martian, and we've both seen this film. It's up for what is it up for? Do you have the list? I mean, I know it's up for.
I do have the list actually.
Okay, go ahead.
It's nominated for 7 Oscars, and here I'll tell you what they are.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. It's up for Best Picture, Best Actor for Matt Damon, Best Adapted Screenplay,
right?
Best Achievement in Production Design, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, Best Achievement in Sound Editing, because if you can mix it good, obviously you could probably edit it pretty good too, and Best Achievement in Visual Effects. So, 4 are technical, 3 are, the ones that you really want to get.
Okay. The technical ones.
Yeah.
Good chance of winning all of those. Or, any of those.
It's as good as any other film in that category, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we talk about the film itself, I just want to say right up front.
Although, to be honest, in my opinion, just to go on record, which we'll probably bring up...
I was going to say this first. That's why I was going to...
In the next episode, that Mad Max will probably get all of these.
Okay, that's possible. All right. Best Picture? Not going to get it.
No, definitely not. This is definitely not your Best Picture of 2015.
And I still stand by, if it was 5 nominations, this doesn't get nominated. I don't think it's that good. It's good, but I don't think it's... As far as a filmmaking, I think it's just average.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Oh, Best Actor? Should not have been nominated.
I agree with that. As much as I like Matt Damon, I for the most part like just about everything he does. He usually picks a good movie to be in, and
there's a couple I haven't seen because they're not my kind of movie. But yeah, he's great. I love Matt Damon.
No.
But the main point is, there are films he has acted. He has had 10 times better roles than this,
and not been nominated.
Right. I mean, if just even go back to Good Will Hunting.
Sure.
I would hold that over this any day.
Yeah, and he didn't get.
Not that.
I don't even think he got nominated for that. I don't think he got nominated for that. They got Best Screenplay.
Yeah, so who gives a fuck? They got an Oscar. They don't care.
Right. Well,
but I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, he gives a good performance, but I could point to at least three other films of his where he gave a much better performance that should have been recognized.
Right. Sure.
That's all.
Definitely.
I don't know who. Maybe there's a black actor out there who should have gotten a nomination instead of him. Like, maybe Will Smith.
I'm sure. I'm sure if we looked. See, here's the problem too. Just about everything that is nominated is released from September to December, and I think that's part of the problem too. They kind of cram everything all in like this 3-month period, and any really great performances that happen in the previous 9 months, not that they get forgotten, but they kind of do in a way, because how many times do you see a film nominated for Best Picture that came out, like right around this time, February, March, April, like Mad Max is kind of a surprise because it was released May of 2015 and it's on the Best Picture list.
And I still say Mad Max, as good of a film as it was, 5 Oscar nominations wouldn't have made it in.
See, here's the thing. The reason why I disagree with that is because they also nominated George Miller, and that's usually a big indicator of your 5.
But do you think he's going to win Best Director and Best Picture?
They might give him. They might give him director though.
Right.
Because Mad Max was really something to fucking look at.
Exactly, but I am underlining my point. If there's 5 pictures, he gets Best Director nom, not a Best Picture nom.
They'll split that.
Right,
I think this year we're looking at a split for picture and director.
So what you just said doesn't negate my point.
Of course not.
And what was the third one? Best Director or
it's best adapted screenplay.
Oh, that maybe it's a lot of stiff competition on the screenplay field this year. So that's iffy.
I'm not 100% sure I remember what the 5, but
I can tell you right now because I got my list in front of me.
Oh,
Best
nice.
adapted screenplay is The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. Room's going to win it.
You know what? It's either going to go Room or The Big Short. I have this feeling about those two.
Yeah, I think.
Or not the Room. Not the Room. It's just called Room, and there's a reason why it's just called Room.
Yes.
They don't want to get it mixed up with the Tommy Wiseau film of the same name.
I can't wait for the film version of the Destruction Artist.
Yeah, the James Franco.
I can't fucking wait for that. I got to finish reading the book.
I've seen some pictures. I've seen some pictures of on set stuff.
Yeah.
And just from pictures alone, I'm stoked.
I've only read the first 3 chapters, but I'm telling you, based on those first 3 chapters, read the fucking book.
Okay.
3 in, and I'm like, this is a fucking keeper. I just got to finish it.
Can I get it on audiobook? Because I don't have much time to read these days.
You did, or are you going to?
No, I want to. I'm asking if you can.
Yeah, it's on audiobook. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm actually gonna start doing that more often because I sit in so much traffic. Easily an hour in, hour plus coming home. I could probably knock out a book a week.
I'll recommend some to you.
Yeah, please.
So The Martian. Now.
The basic.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll just give a basic premise of the film is that it is a controlled mission to Mars. It's a group of whatever 6, 7 astronauts. I forget how many. And
George Bush is watching this at home. He's like, I told you.
And they're there for samples. They're there to test. They're there to set up shop, so to speak. Yeah. And a report from NASA comes in that a bigger than expected storm is coming. And what happens is they have to do an emergency exit. Well, to do this emergency exit, they have to walk through this storm to get to the carrier to leave. Well, they're all walking together, and just all hell breaks loose, and Matt Damon ends up getting left behind because they think he's dead. So he has to figure out how to live on Mars for 4 years. Because
it's a little bit of Robinson Crusoe.
Yep. Because he's got to figure out...
There's actually the film Robinson Crusoe on Mars.
Oh, is there really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is that a Roger Corman?
No, it's not Roger Corman. He has I think Friday is a monkey. It's like a space monkey that's with him, and he builds like a clock out of sand and shit like that.
Oh, dear God.
Go ahead.
It's so bad. So he's got to figure out how to live there for 4 years, because that's the very next mission that would get to Mars, because it takes a long time to get there.
Right.
It's called Ares, which would be in 4 years. So, and that's essentially the film. It's mostly, the entire film is mostly him alone on this planet, trying, figuring shit out.
Here's where the film falls apart as far as being a great film. When you say, like, okay, so this is Matt Damon alone on a planet by himself all this time, it's not really true, because halfway through the film, he finally gets communication with her, so he actually has contact, and now he's communicating with her. So he actually has. Can
I talk about that for 1 second?
Well, no. Well, let me finish my point, and then I'll cede the floor.
Okay.
So unlike, say, now there's another film he did called Jerry, which I finally got a copy of, and I got to watch it, where he and another guy called Jerry get lost in the desert, and they just wander around, and it's just them in the desert, like with almost no dialogue for almost the entire film.
Oh, wow.
Or look at maybe something like I Am Legend, where the first half of the film is just Will Smith by himself with no people. You kind of you go into The Martian thinking, okay, this is going to be him on Mars by himself, being this person without any human contact, and you get a little bit of that, but you don't get that much, because he spends a lot of time talking to the camera, recording his video diary, and so he is communicating. And then when he finally gets communication, he's talking to people, so he doesn't really spend that much time actually alone, at least in the concept of watching the film through stretches. Right. And half of the film takes place on Earth with all the people trying to figure out how to save him, and in the ship that left him trying to figure out how to save him. So there's all these other characters, all this other stuff happening. We don't really spend that much time. We don't spend that much of the film alone, desolate,
and
with Matt Damon.
I'm okay with that. And I don't hold it against the film as not making it a great film either.
Well, what I'm saying, though, is that it becomes just a normal. That's why I compare it to Apollo 13, is because it's that same thing where you got these guys up in space alone, but we spend half of our time downstairs as they brainstorm. It's got that same setup. And okay, now how are we going to do this? And it's been done before, and it's been done in Armageddon, and it's been done to anything with the people in space at this point. It's formulaic, and it doesn't mean it's bad, but there's not really room for that kind of desolate, silent that's all I'm saying.
Right. And
it's not him alone. It's not him alone on Mars. It's him alone on Mars some of the time, and then eventually talk with us.
And the trailer does a couple of things that I didn't like. One being, and you get that from the trailer, that even though he's on this planet alone, you get from the trailer that you're not going to be watching him completely alone. You get that from the trailer. So it's not like you're going in, I think you said before, like some people might have gone in thinking that it's going to be alone, desolate. I don't think you go in that way looking, if you watch the trailer anyway. Mm-hmm. Maybe readers of the book, it might come off a little bit more that way, but I don't even think in the book, which I haven't read yet, there's always communication back and forth. Now, a couple of things about the trailer that I did not like is there's a scene in the trailer that's very deceiving, that it shows him on video and people of Earth are watching this video. Like, that is his communication. Which, there isn't really a spoiler here. There is if you watch a trailer and you believe what you're watching.
Oh, by the way, spoilers, we're talking about these Oscar reviews, spoiler. If you haven't seen it, just, spoiler.
Well, we're going to have to put that in our description for iTunes and
fuck
whatnot.
that.
We're going to have to.
No, we don't. Because it's just obvious, and we're saying it now before we spoiled anything, so it's still fair. Still fair game. Spoiler alert, we haven't spoiled anything yet, but if we do, spoiler alert, because we're reviewing these films for the Oscars. We're going to talk about the endings. Mad Max, I got to talk about the fucking ending. So
yeah, because you hated it so much.
Spoiler alert. But anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, his main type of communication is not video. He creates a video log for if he eventually gets saved.
Right.
But what they show in the trailer is like, hey, I'm on video. Hey, how's everyone doing in Mars or on Earth? It's like, oh, how's Mars? It's dry. Blah blah. That's what you get from the trailer, and that's not what happens. Then the other thing, which this is just a little nitpick, but in the trailer, the one actor, he says he's 50 million miles away. What could he be thinking? But then at the end of the actual trailer, it says help is only 140 million miles away. That's a pretty big fucking difference.
Well, it depends where more Mars is.
90 million miles.
I think you're nitpicking.
I am. I have to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, whoever cut the trailer together really just thinks people that watch it are stupid.
Well, that's
they
what
must.
they're supposed to sell the film, though. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they're going to not notice the little things like. And of course, the end of the film is in the trailer, not visually, just audio.
Yeah, but with this film, it's almost like the ending. I don't think anybody goes in this film thinking, oh, he's gonna die on Mars.
Yeah,
I really don't. It's like you go to Armageddon. It's like, gee, you think they saved the Earth? They saved the fucking Earth. It's that kind of movie. You know that.
Of
That's
course.
not why you're coming.
There's
no twist. We saved the fucking Earth. All right.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. So I this is not one of those films where you're wondering how will this end. It's gonna fucking end. So I don't give it that too much problem. Not like horror films where they give away the ending, because that's the big secret. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Right.
You don't give that away.
Are you sure we're gonna do spoilers for this?
I'm just saying in case. I don't know. I don't think you can spoil anything for this.
I don't think you can either. But
I'm just saying. I'm just putting myself
in the listener's shoes. If I was tuning into our podcast, which you should, if you're listening now, thank you. I always, like, I listen to a morning radio show and they talk about a film or they talk about a TV show, and once they really start to get into talking about it, I have to change the channel because I hate knowing anything.
Right, but here's the deal: if I haven't seen a film, I don't listen to an hour-long podcast about it because they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's my point. When I say spoiler, I mean it's obvious a spoiler because we're talking about the fucking film. And this isn't like a review in the newspaper. This is us talking about a movie, per se. We're I don't think, again, but spoiler, just in case you're stupid or completely oblivious, he survives at the end.
Don't say that about our audience. What's wrong with you?
No, I'm not. I'm saying they wouldn't be. And if you actually are walking into this film thinking, how does it end? Come on, this is one of those films.
Scott and I we were having a conversation yesterday through instant message.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Not that one.
Not. It was about The Martian. It was very brief. It was about Matt Damon being nominated for Best Actor, and one of the examples that I used was because he's on Mars for nearly 4 years. He has to grow his own food, which some catastrophic events happen where his food supply gets destroyed or his plants do. But he has a bunch left over, which he now has to ration for the foreseeable future until he can get rescued. Well, he has to ration whatever it is, a potato every 3 days he can only eat, or something like that. Anyway, obviously you're going to lose weight. And they show him a few different scenes being extremely thin to just kind of push that point across that, yeah, he's been here a really long time and he's lost a tremendous amount of weight. Now, it's a body double, first of all.
Cameron would not allow him to lose the weight. He wanted to, but he said, no, you're not pulling a Christian Bale. You
keep saying Cameron instead of Ridley Scott.
You know what I mean.
This is how you got in trouble for when Avatar.
You mean this is the one thing that all those whiny bitch Avatar fans leaped on because they didn't like the fact that I said that maybe your movie's not the fucking next coming of God, you fucking cunts.
Yeah, and at that point you called Cameron Ridley Scott. I don't know why you
Because
get
I
the
was typing
two
fast, and
mixed
they're,
up.
They're both fucking hacks. So what do you want? Anyway, go ahead.
Which was so surprising how good this movie was, because Ridley Scott is usually miss hit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Missing aliens. There you go.
Yeah. I did like Blade Runner. But anyway.
Nah.
I
think it's overrated.
It is overrated. I still liked it, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, if he had lost the weight like he wanted to, I think there wouldn't be any question about his best actor, not performance, but nomination.
But I mean, does that really weigh? Should that really weigh into the acting nomination? Like how much abuse you put yourself through? I mean,
it always has.
We're going to be. Oh, I'm just asking. I'm not being sarcastic. It's like a really question because I mean, The Revenant's going to be a film we review coming up, and Leonardo DiCaprio, although he didn't actually injure himself or anything, I mean, like I'm sure he, filming in the cold and shit, he went through a lot of ordeals. Is the fact that he wasn't like cozy warm, is that a contributing factor to whether or not he wins Best Actor? I mean, is it just okay if I risk physical harm to myself? Does that make me a better actor, or does it just make me stupider?
For me, his performance in that trumps anything he had to go through to make that movie.
No, right, but what I'm just right.
I know what you're saying, but believe me, I know what you're saying. But I think in the instance of his performance in The Revenant, it does come across as his performance was, even though it was mostly no dialogue, he sold it. He really did.
It's like sometimes when you get people nominated for Best Actor because they're playing like another famous person.
Right.
Right. You rubbing your face because I hear a scratchy.
No, I rubbed the mat that I have here.
Stop doing that because I can hear it. See, now you're doing it on purpose, and that's but like somebody's like pretending to be a famous person, and they win nomination, but like okay. Is that because you're acting, or just because you're really mimicking somebody very well? And is there a difference between acting and mimicking? I was like, oh, I gave the accent and I look just like him, so now I'm getting an Oscar. Is that better or worse than somebody who's creating a new character and not pretending to be somebody, but portraying emotion very well? I mean, these are the questions that really divide the roles and like the votes on a lot of this stuff.
Sure.
What does Best Actor mean? Is it because I lost 80 pounds? And sound like I really like grew up in New York or the Bronx or fucking Queens or what have you, or Boston, or is it because I gave such a performance that you believe the character, or is it just because you like me?
Well, here's a perfect example of an actor that got snubbed, and I mentioned this yesterday. An actor that got snubbed. An actor that lost about 100 pounds, 80 pounds, 90 pounds, 100 pounds, I forget what it was. He got down to like 120 pounds. It was Christian Bale for The Machinist. Not only his performance was fucking through the roof.
I think that's pronounced Machinist.
Yeah, okay. He lost a tremendous amount of weight, which was important to the role. It wasn't like he lost the weight just to do it. There was a whole reason why that character was that thin, and you find out, with the way the movie ends. But it was important to the film, completely overlooked.
Sure.
Other than myself, I don't think anyone was really like up in arms about it.
But and again, that's always going to happen. And again, though, I mean, does that mean? I thought he did, whether or not he lost the weight, I thought it was a wonderful performance. But does that mean it's more worthy of a nomination? I mean, is self-mutilation really what we're going to award here? Or is it more...
Due to the plot and the reason why that character was tormented the way he was in that film, I think it does in that instance.
Let's say James Franco really cut off his arm. Does that make him more likely to get the Oscar for that role?
Yeah, and an awkward moment when you try and hand it to him to the wrong arm.
Right, but so at what point but then we were just awarding self-mutilation. I'm just posing a question. I don't have
Look at what this actor had to do to just really get in the role. But
he didn't have to.
I
do
know
it.
the
We had
question.
CGI.
I know the question that you're posing. Obviously, he did not lose his arm, so it's kind of moot.
I don't have there's no answer for it. I'm just posing the question.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind when we're discussing why somebody deserved an Oscar more than the other one. So, with The Martian in mind, if he lost 80 pounds for the role, does that make him more of an actor? I think even he would agree that maybe that wasn't necessary, especially since he did a great job without it.
And you still got the point across. You still were kind of like, wow, even though you don't see Matt Damon actually that thin, it is a body double, but you do get the point. Is still made. He's on this planet by himself, rationing food for God knows how long.
Two quick things. One about this. One not about this. When you said you were nitpicking earlier about the distance thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of you nitpicking, I just got to tell you, every time you complain about the Joker's grill in the Suicide Squad, I giggle.
I'm sorry, but the new trailer for Suicide Squad came out. I'm not sold on the fucking grill.
Anyway.
And I'm sorry. I have to refer to it as a grill. He's got a bunch of metal in his mouth. It's a grill.
I still giggle. I think it's funny that that's a hang-up you have. When we were watching The Martian, my older stepdaughter, Catherine, she came in the room. She watched a bit of what is... And it's when Matt Damon's is like driving across Mars, the next long shot, and then like silence, and then Catherine, as always, says something wonderful. She says, "Where did they film this?" I said, "Filmed it on Mars." It's like on location. What do you want?
I wouldn't doubt that was like New Mexico or something.
I was like, it's a fucking desert. What do you think they filmed it? They didn't film it on Mars. You know that, right? So narrow it down. How many deserts are there? What's the... And the mountain range isn't really there. It's why are you even asking this question? Love her.
See, now I have to find out. Filming locations. Filming locations were Jordan.
It's a fucking desert.
Wadi Rum, Jordan.
A desert.
Yeah, Cordra Studios in Hungary.
Hungary.
Wow, this was mostly filmed in Hungary and Jordan.
There you go.
And the NASA stuff was filmed at the Johnson Space Center in Texas.
With the nice, clean, new super buildings CGI'd in.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't try to do that in New Mexico and just put a red filter on everything.
The most unbelievable thing of this entire film isn't that we are actually manning missions to Mars, is that NASA somehow got a budget.
Yeah, right.
Really? They can afford this shit? Look at this. I mean, beautiful film. Matt Damon's entertaining as always. The script's fine. The book was very popular. I enjoyed the film. I liked it.
I liked it quite a bit.
Wrong with it. I think I definitely would recommend it to watch.
Made a lot of money.
Yeah, it's nothing groundbreaking or breathtaking. It's just a decent, entertaining film. What some asshole critics would call a popcorn movie. And those people need to be fucking stabbed in the throat.
They seem to give Ridley Scott $100 to $200 million budgets every time to make his movies.
Why?
I don't know why, but they continually do it. Like, all right, let's take a look at some of Ridley Scott's films.
Hold on. Can I just say real quick that I feel some of the hype behind this film getting Best Picture and Best Actor is strictly because of Ridley Scott's name attached to it.
If it was anybody else, maybe this wouldn't have been. But maybe it would have, because it would, it's like, wow, this is a great film directed by maybe this is a new guy. It's like, this
person. It's not a great film. It's a good film. That's what I'm saying. The fact that Ridley Scott's attached to it, I think, was that little extra, it's a Ridley Scott film and it's good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Wait, now, Ridley Scott did Prometheus, right?
He did Prometheus.
Was that nominated for Best Picture?
It had just technical stuff.
I rest my fucking case.
$130 million budget for that. Made $400 million worldwide. So after Prometheus, they give him The Counselor, which I haven't seen yet, which is a Cormac McCarthy. It was written directly for the screen by Cormac McCarthy, which got shunned by Hollywood big time. But People are saying.
I remember reading something about that.
People are saying that it's don't listen. It's a great movie.
Yeah, there's something. There's like some weird shit around it.
Yep.
Yeah, something about how it was really like panned but it's really a brilliant film in disguise.
Yeah. So $25 million budget for that one.
Yeah, you know what, Cormac McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
if he wrote it, I'm willing to give it a shot. You know, I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. I'm adding it to my list right now.
Exodus, Gods and Kings, $140 million budget.
Oh, which they only released because they were making fucking Noah.
Yep.
That's all. That was a catch-up film. That's all that was.
$268 million worldwide. So everything he does, they give him these huge budgets. They make their money back.
Well, we've discussed this though. Like the market now has been manipulated / become / evolved to such a point where multi-million-dollar budget films are no longer a risk.
Oh yeah, like look, he made Robin Hood. All right, Robin Hood.
Right.
$200 million budget to make fucking Robin Hood.
Right.
321 million worldwide.
And that's back when you could like have a flop with a big budget film.
Oh yeah. There's no reason why Robin Hood should cost $200 million.
But if that film hadn't have done well, it could have actually lost money. We're to a point now with internet and overseas, it's become so integrated that they don't flinch now to throw $200 million at a film because no matter what happens, they're not going to take a loss.
No.
Show me a film they've actually taken a loss on.
Probably.
Period.
John Carter. I think Disney took a loss on that.
Yeah, but really, after video sales too and cable and stuff, no.
I bet they're still not in the green for that one. Let's see, John Carter, $250 million budget. No,
what was worldwide?
It made $284 million worldwide. So you know what? I'm wrong.
And worldwide is just ticket sales.
Yeah,
that's not cable deals. That's not streaming.
No, they made money.
That's not DVD sales. That's none of that. Again, yeah, that was a huge flop, right? Colossal flop, right? Still in the black. That's why they make this shit. That's why they're making. Only reason we're making Transformers 5 and fucking Ant-Man is because they can't fucking lose. So they're not flinching it. They say, oh, Ridley Scott? Well, you're a name, and we'll put some name actors in there. Give them $200 million. The numbers don't lie. We will break even. It's like what they used to do when they would like, oh, here's $20 million to make some shit to fill in the gaps because we know with video sales we can't lose. But now it's like that quadrupled, quintupled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, The Martian couldn't lose no matter what. It's a good film. It definitely doesn't deserve Best Actor. It definitely doesn't deserve Best Picture.
And
technical stuff.
It won't get either of those.
But even technical stuff these days is like it's so easy. I mean, obviously it takes millions of dollars to do it because that's how much it costs. But it's still it's run of the mill. It's not like in the old days when Pegasus, what the fuck? Clash of the Titans, the first one, when it's like Ray Harryhausen. It was like, wow, how like when you watch films where they would use, they were saying, shit, how do we do this on screen? That conversation doesn't happen anymore.
Nope.
All it is now is, okay, are we going to do a CGI or are we going to do it partly CGI and because we know we can do it.
Yeah, there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where what's his face, Zeus, releases the Kraken. He sends one of his guys down to do it, and there's an underwater scene where you actually see him in like a little square or rectangle, and his body is moving through the ocean. It's like, wow, that's literally like cut and paste with like an X-Acto knife, frame for frame.
The old Star Wars, when you watched it in the theater, you could see the black matting around the ships as they flew away, and no one gave a fuck because you know why? Because it was fun. It was like, wow, they got spaceships flying in space.
Yeah.
And now it's too easy, and so no one gives a fuck. The magic's gone, so it's just like, oh, who used the most pixels? Who did it so well that like we almost didn't believe that it wasn't CGI, even though we knew it was.
You know what's interesting? Sean Bean is in this film, and when he's planning,
and he doesn't fucking die.
Hold on. When I'm watching this movie, I'm like, he's planning this rescue. They're not going for it. Is he going to go up and try? And I'm like, if he does, he's dead. That's a guarantee.
Last scene of the film should have been him taking 3 arrows in the chest by an orc. That's all I'm saying. We have to go up and get him.
I love that they threw in the Lord of the Rings reference. The Elrond. It was like, yeah, Sean Bean, he's right there. He attended that.
That's when the orc should have shot him in the chest with the arrows. Motherfucker.
I don't even know if that was in the book or if it was, and they're like, well, we got to get Sean Bean. He's interested. We got to get him. Or they threw it in there because Sean Bean was in the film. I don't know which.
I don't care. All
story.
I know is that he died with 3 arrows to the chest. That's my favorite Sean Bean scene.
There's that video that's rolling around on YouTube of all the movies he's died in, and they piece all of his death scenes together. It's hilarious.
I've seen that. I actually masturbate to that. That's awesome. I love that. Oh wait! He's buried alive in like don't say a word. Oh, yeah, it's great.
That's a visual. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
I'll send you pictures.
Please don't do that.
So, I mean, there's nothing remarkable about The Martian that I would say. It's just like it's well shot. It looks like Mars. That's it. And great acting, great whatever. Nothing exceptional. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
definitely.
know. Yeah. So odds. Moviesucktastic prediction is not going to win Best Picture or Best Actor.
Correct. And
I think
won't.
We're agreed on that, right? And
if I had to guess about adapted screenplay, I don't think it's going to get that either. But I think it has out of all 3 of those nominations, that has its best shot.
5.
Huh?
5 nominations.
No, I'm talking about picture, actor, adapted screenplay.
Okay.
Out of all of those 3, out of those 3 that it's nominated for, the big ones, adapted screenplay is its best shot.
And I don't think it's going to win that. I mean,
I don't think it will, but it might.
Right now, it's
could.
the only one I've seen of the best adapted. I'm working my way up those. But right now, even without having seen it, there's a lot of buzz about Room, and so. But Martian, I mean, it's not like you're translating a great word. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, just no wow factor. No wow factor. Nothing breathtaking. It's just it's in there because they couldn't give it to
What?
Something else. I can't think. They couldn't give it to any of the young adult novels that were translated to the screen this year. All 28 of them.
Oh, well, like the fucking Hunger Games?
Yeah, the Hunger Games 8 didn't make it to the list, so they had to put this one in. That's hey, what you can do.
All right, so are we done?
Needle pulling thread. For this, yeah, I think so. I think we can move on to next episode. We're going to be reviewing Mad Max, which we kind of did in the previous episode, but it's going to be a recap for the Oscars.
That's right. Mad Max Fury Road. Tune into that one next. All right, everyone. This is episode 195. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning of the show. It's fastly approaching episode 200. We have to brainstorm on a 200th episode. We have to.
I think you and I should get together and we should talk about the show and we should do a shot for every episode we've done.
No. A shot of water doing 200 shots would be dangerous too.
Even that would kill it.
Yeah, that's right. That would kill us. Anyway, go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download all the shows there. You can listen to the shows there as well. Or, if you want, which we highly recommend, is watch the show live every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Live!
That's right.
Live!
You can go to iTunes and you can download the show there as well. While you're there, it's always nice if you leave us a review.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic.
Don't leave a review if you're going to call us fascist Marxists, though.
Yeah. Was that ever taken down?
I don't know. I didn't check.
All right. Anyway, go to facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we talk about on the show All the movies, trailers, we all put that there. I just uploaded the Suicide. I was going to say Suicide Kings. The Suicide Squad trailer. I just put that up the other day. It's actually really good too. It's done to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm so much more excited about the film now that I saw that trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and although I'm still not sold on the Joker's grill, I'm sure I'll still enjoy the film. If you want to leave us voicemail, you can. The number is 908-514-4470. If you want to leave us email, the address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. If you want to go to our Tumblr page, it's moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And finally, you can download the free Android app. Everything that we just talked about is all in a nice, tidy little package for the Android phone or your tablet. And we have a mobile version of the website for all of you iPhone users. And that's about does it. So, Scott, you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson? No? Alright, that'll do.
I can't think of anything with the Martian. White gold!
White gold! You found anything yet? We ain't found shit. Alright. Alright, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Or in about 5 minutes. You know, give or take.
Hey, don't break down the fourth wall.
I'm sorry.
What do you...
Ignore me.
Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye. Racist.
Hey. If I can find the button. There's the button. Button. Who's got the button?
Push the button, Frank.